Hi, how are you tonight? I'm just standing here waiting for the moon to rise and contemplating about the changes that have occurred over the last month. You can feel it, I can feel it. It's an energetic shift and you can see it. I want to talk to you a little bit about using the energies of full moons, of transits, of you, of your heart, and of your soul. We all have this amazing divine spark inside of us, and we hide behind so many fears and things that just like stop us from being all that we really actually are. And I have had pause to recognize how much shame has played a role in my life, and I've been clearing shame all this week and falling more and more in love with just my own essence and being okay with that and seeking the other side of shame and finding compassion for those scared little bits of me, right? And like it's generational, you know what I mean? Like I see that. And so this month, we all know, has been really powerfully energetic based on astrology and just the things that are happening out there, right? So I've been working through the shame stuff, and like I've gone deep quickly, but as it's cleared out, I feel lighter and lighter and lighter, and it's really beautiful feeling. And a lot of my shame comes around my femininity, what makes me divine feminine, or even just a girl or a woman or a lady, or like all of these words. And I started owning my essence and coming to terms with what it is to be a divine feminine. And I've learned really to love myself and set boundaries and to keep just raising my energy and my vibration. And one of the things that I had a lot of shame about with regards to my femininity was my sexuality and my body image and like what it is to be a woman. I was very shamed for being a busty woman, and I never felt pretty, and I never really felt seen. I always kind of felt like the weird girl, and I had a lot of shame, and like it was really deep inside me, because like there was this outside world that told me that I was supposed to hate these things about me, but inside of me, like I had these things. I felt sensual and feminine and like a woman, and I wanted to express that my whole life. But everywhere I turned around the corner, there was somebody saying like, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, you're supposed to do that. And so I followed the supposed tos for a really long time, and most of that was out of shame. We shame people to do things an awful lot in our society, and I think it's time that stops. So part of the way that I dealt with my own shame of myself was I hid, like we all do. I hid behind makeup or clothes or personalities or jobs or relationships or my family or an excuse or whatever. I hid behind weight. I hid behind high-collared turtlenecks. I hid behind clothes that were too big. I hid in my room. I hid away. I stifled my voice. I was afraid to be who I felt I was, but who it felt like the outside world really didn't seem to encourage me being. And I mean, like, I'm really like, when I look at the divine feminine characteristics, you can Google that. There's like 11: compassion, intuitive, empathy, kindness, living from heart, intuitive, creative, forgiving, accepting, and receiving. Nowhere on there does it have anything about how much makeup you wear, what size you are. It doesn't have anything to do with the money you have in your bank account or the label you carry. It doesn't even have anything to do with gender, because if you feel inside that you're more of an embodiment of the feminine essence, but you have a penis, then great. But one of the things that I did that I still held a lot of shame for, and I still do, and part of why I wore makeup was to cover up the fact that I pick at my skin. And I've done that, my whole life, and I pick it. It soothes me, and I always said, like, it's not a problem. And then I realized I have a lot of shame around it, especially given that people that cared about me would point it out. But I couldn't stop. And I realized that it was definitely in this week, coming to deal with the idea of shame, I realized that was a shame hold I still have. And I really think that now that I've been liberated from this, through this whole process, that's over too. I literally let shame let me abuse myself because I didn't think I was worthy of better, because I felt ashamed of being a woman and feeling like I wanted to be a sensual, sexy, compassionate, empowered woman that receives. And one of the places that I picked a lot was my head. And I always thought like it'd be kind of cool to shave my head, right? Just because it would be fun. But I was so ashamed because I was so afraid that my head would be covered with scars. And then everyone would know, because I can cover the ones that are everywhere else, right? Not the ones on my face, but I could put makeup on that. So I try not to pick at my face. And mostly I would do it when I was anxious and the anxiety is going away. So my daughter, she's 16. She's amazing, but she's been struggling with some depression and anxiety. This whole virus has really changed a lot of us in a lot of ways, but it's been hard, right? But also profound in a lot of cases. And there's that energy that's happening right now. So I really wanted to hone the power of the full moon energy. I did some hiking today with a friend, and then went for a swim, hung out by the river, got some sun. And my daughter, 16, had shaved her head, but like with like a 1 or a 2 kind of length last night. And this girl who had been sad and struggling, she's like a beacon of light. And she did it because she wanted to prove to herself that her pretty was not in her hair. And she feels so much more beautiful and so much more liberated. And I saw her brighten up, and it inspired me to look that shame in the eye one last time and to expose it to the world. And it turns out I'm not all scarred up, so that's really great. And I feel liberated and For the longest time, I would tell people my power is in my hair. You saw my hair. It was long. It was beautiful. Like, I felt like my femininity, my power, my strength, my essence was in my hair. And what I realized when I made that first glide of the razor, or the razor thing, was that, no, man. And I was figuring it out anyway, but like, no, man. The power's right in here. It's all around me. It's everywhere. Like, our power is so much bigger than these bodies that we wear, and especially our hair and all of those things outside of us that try to tell us what makes us beautiful and what makes us strong and what makes us powerful. It's so much more, and it's your essence. And it doesn't matter if you have hair or whatever. What you wear, our strength and our power is inside. And I feel really strong today. And I hope I can inspire some of you guys to realize that we're so much more than these bodies. We're actually magical. Let's start showing it.